Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Oh wow! Talk about an epic stupid o'clock. Didn't quite talk Thursday night, but it's in the top 10. Let me tell you. Now I don't know what we're going to do to top the stuff that we heard tonight, and I certainly am not going to try and top Thursday night because it just ain't going to happen. But with me tonight, we have Joe Bachman. We got Mike Jimmy. We got Skunk Rocker.
Nice.
We got Dawn and Rich. And I'm just about to send Stephanie a link because she seems to be awake at this hour. She may not show up, but then again, we might get lucky.
Well, I'd like to start off by saying thank you for not having me start your show.
That was funny. You literally did look like deer in headlights.
Yeah,
well, I saw it light up because he added me in before the intro ended. So it said you're in the show. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's not back yet. Dan just pre-added everybody. And it cuts to the intro and it's just me. It's like, oh, hi.
Yep.
You covered well.
He does that from time to time. He delights in being needlessly cruel. Oh, okay. Invitation to Stephanie sent. Don't know if she will respond. Well, I'm sure she will respond with, "Oh no, I don't feel like it," or, "Hey, sure, thank you." Either way, not a lick amiss. So, I've got to tilt the camera back here. I'm evidently either sitting taller or the camera has spontaneously risen for some strange reason. Probably Dawn's here, so it just decided to stand tall.
Why did I get blamed for that? Thank you, Rich. Thank you.
It has been 5 minutes, and we already had the card out.
It wasn't my fault.
No. I'm blaming Dan on this one.
Thank you.
Will.
I don't know how long I'll actually be on, but
Well, let's start with an important question. Mike, Jimmy, how's the Kickstarter going?
We are at 31 backers, and funded. So we only have 1,678 euros raised so far, and we're gonna hit our first stretch goal at 2,000. So yeah, we're doing fast. You know, the hardcovers are going hard. So I'm super happy with the results so far. Just gonna keep pushing.
Mike, I am number 31.
I know. Actually, most of you got it at this point.
Mike, have you and Skunk met yet?
In chat before.
Oh, okay.
But
Close enough for government work.
yeah, no, we've seen each other on Nevermind Furthermore.
Oh.
That's why he had said earlier. He was just all like, "Oh, Skunk has a face," and I was like, I didn't realize I was hiding it. But then I remembered, oh yeah, he hasn't really been here for when I was on Stupid O'Clock.
No, I think another problem is that some of the shows that you were on, even after I started meeting these people, were at a time where I was fast asleep. Because I'm 6 hours ahead of everyone, at least.
That could be it too.
No, Donna, you haven't been replaced. You're never.
I can't get the damn search to. There we go. Let's try this a second time. Once more with feeling.
not the green room.
Not the green room.
Hey, it's after midnight on a Sunday morning. There's not a lot I can't get away with. So.
You tell that to Lindsay.
Oh.
As long as it's done live, kind of hard to get away with it.
Oh, we'll find a way.
Ted made it home. He said that it's just been kind of a weird day at work today, which I can expect that would be yes.
Oh.
Where does he work at that they're getting threats like that?
A hotel. A historic hotel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we have no idea where or what hotel, so that's probably a good thing.
Mm.
And I heard another ping. I think we have been joined by none other.
Don started it. I swear to gods, Don started it.
I did not. I'm innocent.
You're
I'm
as innocent
innocent.
as I am.
I said all I did was
First time for everything, ladies.
I used to ride with the vending machine repairman, and you said, it was my dad. Come on.
Well, I didn't see that when I entered what I said.
And we got poor Richie trapped in the center of them.
I'm just saying, right now I'm a dick sandwich.
Isn't that where you always put your dick?
There's no cheese involved, I hope.
I was just say, just don't say that you're going to get up at the butt crack of dawn.
Reminds me of the old.
No, but I've got some butterscotch pudding.
Reminds me of the old joke about the McJackson burger, 30-year-old meat between 12-year-old buns.
Oh, we're pushing the envelope tonight, folks.
You want to hear books you can listen to this? You sure?
And Skunk is here going, Why do
What
I
the hell
admit
did
to
I
knowing
get
these
into?
people now?
Yeah, I know, right?
Actually, I've never met Skunk, so.
I have. He's a sweet young thing. I don't know how the hell I got involved with Joe Dog.
He's
Nick
good at what he does.
Pimp out Skunk a few
Yes, he
times.
is.
I checked out Skunk's YouTube channel a couple of times, but in Stupid O'Clock earlier was the first time I actually got to interact with him live.
Well,
that you checked out my YouTube. I'm so sorry.
Hey,
Actually, I quite enjoyed it. It's the couple of videos that I did manage to look at were you driving around, eating, and pontificating on various things.
Oh, those videos. No, forget those videos. I was talking about the ones that are like edited movies. I would take like clips from movies and like change the dialogue or the music or something.
No,
He's a pretty
I've
good writer,
got
too.
to say, I was very, very fond of the ones where we're reacting to different movies and whatnot, and just poking fun at them here and there and everywhere.
That was a podcast thing that we were doing. That me and Audrey were doing. We stopped doing it after a while because basically Audrey kind of got bored of it, and without Audrey, I tried doing it without Audrey. I brought on other people, but it just wasn't really working out.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that because those were very enjoyable, even though horror was not my my genre. But I did have enough reference points to where I could make sense of what was going on in the movies you were talking about. So it was fun. You made it fun for somebody that wasn't part of the in crowd for that particular subject.
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay, where do we go from here?
You turn left, and then you go down to the corner.
Tonight, I'm going to have a call
be
with
wearing
Chris
stilettos.
and Joe Dog, to talk about my trip to Hallowcon.
Oh,
yay!
You better do it quick if you want to get Joe. He's going to be going to bed real soon.
No. I mean my tonight.
Oh, your tonight. Oh,
your afternoon.
Yeah. It's what?
It's
5 o'clock in the morning. 7 o'clock in the morning there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, didn't you just say you were going to bed?
Who are you talking to?
Mike Jimmy.
Oh no, he just got out of bed.
I know. I'm sitting here going. Coffee. No, I know. I'm sitting here counting my hours now, going, "Oh wow, it's been a long day."
No, I just woke up. Just had my morning coffee.
Mm-hmm. It's okay, Don.
Because last time I saw you were the cat just had dinner.
All right.
Mike Jimmy's over in the Netherlands.
I know. Across the pond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, across the pond and north a little bit, but
just a bit.
Got to remember to take that right turn at Albuquerque.
Okay, bugs. No, it's that. Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, we're gonna look into where we're gonna stay. Well, probably at the actual Hallowcon. But we're gonna make it a 2-week vacation.
Oh, okay.
My girlfriend and I. So we're gonna make it a 2-week vacation. I should have my license at that point. And yes, they're talking me into, please, dear Lord, do not drive around Atlanta.
Well, parts of Atlanta are fine. Try to avoid
getting to those parts.
Try to avoid, if you can, driving along the 285 loop. You can cross it and go further into Atlanta. That's fine, but the Watermelon 500 is not to be made trivial by the fact that everybody there is trying to kill everybody else. And
Georgia traffic is beautiful at 3 a.m.
Yes. Believe me, if you have to drive through Atlanta, 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning is the perfect time. Otherwise, I stay way away from there.
Yeah, no, we're going to go from October 25th to November 9th.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's gonna be a good 2 weeks, Wednesday to Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
And I'm probably going to hire a car, but whether we get picked up on the airport and get driven to the hotel, get a car local there, we'll have to see because we're just gonna look into plans. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, which means I'm
So are
gonna
you
have to push
staying?
animation.
Coming
Are you
into the
staying at
Atlanta? Coming
That's two
into
questions.
the Atlanta airport?
Yeah,
And are you
Okay.
staying at Atlanta the entire 2 weeks, or are you gonna
No. He's
travel?
going to be up at Dalton for the convention.
yes. So I'm gonna be
Uh,
at Dalton for the convention, and we're probably going to stay in Dalton for 2 weeks. Um, and just use that as a hub to see where we want to go and what we want to
hey,
experience.
you could do worse than just staying at the convention hotel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice little place. It's not fancy. It's not stuffed shirt. It's really comfortable and down home sort of thing.
And it's
You
only a
know,
block from a Waffle House.
Yep.
very important.
Hey, peanut butter pancakes. I mean, waffles. I don't like northern waffles. They're crispy. Don't like crispy waffles.
Excuse
The
me.
waffles in a Waffle House are
I
flexible,
should have
shall
killed the
we say.
microphone for that one.
You
Yeah,
can't.
Dan, that was a little juicy.
They will fall apart when you try and frisbee them. But
You don't want to frisbee them. You want to scarf them down as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And
but yeah,
basically, if you're picking up the rental car at Atlanta Hartsfield, which it doesn't matter where in the world you are going, you're going to change planes at Atlanta. Um,
yeah.
Basically, get in the car, try and find I-75 North, and drive for 90 minutes.
I honestly, Google Maps is going to be my friend.
Uh-huh.
'Cause
Now, just a point of interest. What side of the road do y'all drive on?
the right side.
Okay, so you won't have to make an
No,
adjustment.
we're not British.
Yes.
Dear Lord,
Remember,
we're
they're
not
north.
British.
Yeah, go more north.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming you still use kilometers per hour
Yes,
instead of miles.
but honestly, if I see a sign on the road saying 50 miles an hour, there's going to be a 50 mile an hour
If you see
indicator.
a sign on the road says 50 miles an hour and you're in Atlanta, you better do 75 or people are
I was
going to
going to
run
say,
into
yeah,
you.
no, I'm used to 75 as well. No, uh, but yeah, like
Now, once
different
you get
versions of
outside
that.
of Atlanta on I-75 going north, speed limit's about 70 most of the time until you get up to Chattanooga and you got to slow down for no perceptible reason except the roads are laid out by somebody threw a handful of worms they dipped in ink down on the map, and that's the way the roads were paved.
The
Yeah.
analogy I've used for that before is an engineer's 2-year-old dumped a bowl of spaghetti and he looked down at the floor and went, "That'd make a great road layout for a town."
Or my former governor was just that it was a bunch of drunken Irishmen.
Hey, watch that.
Hey, you talked to Jesse
Wait
Ventura,
a
not
minute.
me.
Oh,
Wait a
speaking of
minute.
drunken Irishmen,
Yes.
last Friday, so yesterday, I got called by my girlfriend at my work. She asked me one thing. Hey, Mike, what is the names on your passport? Something to be scared of. Apparently, you were going to Glasgow in April for a week. I heard that the Friday night, I was worried all day. Like, just make sure you're free that week. Where are we going? I don't know. You're here. What are we going to do? You're here. Surprise trips can be terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Planned trips can be terrifying.
But
Is this her homeland?
And we've got
No.
another winner here. Oh, here's Chris.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Chris.
Yes.
I was going to say, when I flew south to Canada, going back to the speed limit, when I flew south to Canada, they do kilometers an hour, and it was kind of weird seeing the signs going, oh my gosh, we're going how fast? Because you're going to be like, can we go any faster? Or then you're going to realize that
It
how
really
it
is.
compares.
Kilometer 1.65 of a mile. So
yeah.
Yeah, me and Joe were actually talking about this. 85 is not uncommon in Atlanta. That's like 137 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, when you
it's not
start seeing,
safe, but it's not uncommon.
when
Yeah.
you're used to seeing signs in the double digits and you see a triple digit sign for the first time, you're going,
Mhm.
and then you
Oh,
realize
how did
it.
I wind up in New Mexico?
Oh, have you
Yeah,
ever
no,
heard of the comedian Rondell Sheridan?
Hmm?
He was talking about first time in Canada driving.
Mm.
He didn't realize the speed limits were done in kilometers. He's like, 140. This is awesome. And then he's like, school zone, slow down to 80. It's like, it's the least I can do.
The nice thing about American cars built since the 80s or 90s, they actually have miles
Both
per
of
hour and kilometers per hour
Yeah.
on the speedometer.
Mhm.
All you got to do is remember which
Which one to
top
look
or
at?
bottom
Which
you're
dial.
looking at. So, yeah.
If the number is bigger, you're looking at kilometers.
Yeah.
Generally,
Depends on who's
USA,
driving.
look at the bigger numbers.
Except in New Mexico when it's actually Mach vectors. Yeah, they drive fast out there.
I have questions.
I'm thinking warp scale is not big enough for that place because you could do warp 5 in a school zone out there and nobody'd notice.
I've been
Well-
there. I didn't realize it was that fast.
That's,
Go right ahead, Skunk.
I was just gonna say there was a comedian who I don't remember which comedian it was talking about driving on the interstate. Yeah, this is the only part of the entire joke that I can remember was I was doing 85 and a 65 on I-75, and all those numbers just messed me up. Then I saw God in the form of a Tennessee State Trooper, and God was pissed.
This is true. This is true. Now the hard thing about Atlanta is that a lot of people think the highway number 285 is a suggestion for the speed limit. The cars can't go that fast, but some of them are really trying.
This is what I will say about different places that you can drive in, and there are certain areas of Atlanta, for example, that, well, you were just talking about 285, right?
Uh-huh.
You get on 285, and if you're on certain parts of 285, the speed limit is optional. However, if you get on certain parts of 285 going the other direction, so if you're heading east on 285, like I said, the speed limit is optional. If you're heading west on 285, the speed limit is 40. And you better hope that you're not going over 40, because if you are, you will hit a semi. I do not know why 285 is like this.
285 is the only road that I know of whose signs for the speed limits are LEDs so that they can change them during the day.
That's actually common here.
I know of at least one other place that has that, Dan.
Really?
And I will
I've
explain.
never run into it.
I can explain to you why. These signs, by the way, the signs that you're talking about have the old school amber LEDs,
Mhm.
right? The ones I'm talking about are LED screens. These are huge, full size,
okay,
like almost like
a billboard or something.
Yeah, like a billboard, and they are bright, and there's a reason for that. These signs that I'm talking about are on a specific stretch of I-75 north and south, just north of Chattanooga, actually just north of Cleveland, in an area called Calhoun, in Calhoun, Tennessee. And the reason is because fog in that area gets really super bad.
Yes.
So bad, in fact, that there was a few years ago, well, more than a few years ago, rather. This is back in the early 2000s. Actually, it might have been the late 90s. There was a really super bad car wreck right there in that area because nobody could see because the fog was so bad. And
is that the place that ended up on Forensic Files?
Possibly. I know it was.
Yeah.
I know it was the direct inspiration for the crash at the beginning of Final Destination 2. Like David Ellis even said that he was inspired that the way to have all of the cars smashing into each other like that was directly taken from. He had seen the news report about the I-75 crash at Calhoun, Tennessee.
Because that was right around a paper plant, I want to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Calhoun has definitely the same place.
Yep. And oh god, that paper mill stinks.
Oh
you get about close to exit 33, and you want to plug your nostrils. It's so bad. But yeah, there's about a 10-mile stretch of road that has those signs. And if it's foggy at all, you will see those signs change. They'll say speed limit 70, and they'll go black for a minute. As soon as it just gets a little bit foggy, they'll go black for a second, and then they'll come back up, and it'll say speed limit 45.
Okay.
And they'll be flashing.
Yeah.
It was December 11, 1990.
Oh, wow. That far back, huh? Crazy.
Yeah, there was like an 85 car pileup on one Tennessee road for that about that era.
That was the one, Dan.
Yep.
99 vehicles.
99. Ooh.
12 people killed.
It was a
Calhoun crash.
And what's crazy is that, now here's the thing. When I was in high school, and I lived in Ringgold, Georgia, which has had its own history of horrible things happening to it, tornadoes and everything else. But when I was going to school, I-75 had another major accident like that. And this was sometime between 2000 and 2004, because when I went to high school. There was another major accident like that happened again because of fog in Ringgold, Georgia. We even saw like some of the teachers who didn't show up for their classes that morning showed up later, and some of them were covered in blood. And we were like, "Oh my God, were you in the accident?" They were like, "No, we were helping people get out of their cars and stuff like that." And that's why they didn't show up for class. So it was a weird day. Like some of the classes got canceled. Like a lot of kids were just sitting at school, not doing anything because a lot of the teachers didn't show up. And I mean, the interstate was closed down for like 12 hours or something, And but it was for the same exact reason. If people were doing 70 miles an hour in the fog, and as soon as something happened, somebody had to stop. nobody could see somebody had stopped or had slowed down and were smashing into each other. And I think that shows the big difference between Georgia and Tennessee is Tennessee took that seriously and said, okay, this is a heavy fog area. We're going to put up signs that can change the speed limit whenever it's foggy. And we can also block off parts of the interstate because they do have guards that will come down if it's foggy and prevent people from getting on the interstate, right?
They have those in
You have to take
Minnesota
the
and
you have to
Iowa
take the
too for snow.
yeah, you have to take the long way. You have to take like Highway 11 in order to go north if you or south if you want to travel that way from those areas because you can't go past the barricades. And then Georgia changed nothing. It's still the same way. They were just like, yep, we had a major accident here in this area, and several people died, and oh well.
Yeah, really.
I've had to drive through Georgia twice. Once going down to my in-laws, once coming back from my in-laws. I'm trying to figure out how there are any people alive in that state, considering the drivers.
Basically,
Well, and it's not just the drivers from Georgia; it's drivers traveling through Georgia.
Yeah.
They all had Georgia plates that were trying to kill me, so.
Yeah,
Basically,
I've seen a bunch of people from Ohio trying to kill me.
Basically, the rule in Georgia is drive at your own risk. We ain't paying for your accident.
Well, hey, Chris, that might be because they're Ohio State fans and they saw that you are a fan of the Bulldogs. And
no, this was long before we played in the national
Okay.
You keep bringing reality into this.
I have been driving in the Georgia, Tennessee area that I live in since I was 18 years old. I mean, I was driving before that, but by myself with my own license and not learner's permit since I was 18. And I can tell you guys, I've seen them all. I've seen vehicles from every part of this nation. I've seen vehicles from Canada. I've even seen one vehicle that was registered in the UK that was driving on these roads, which was crazy. I was like, how did they pull that off? And apparently they took it on a boat, brought it over here, and they drove it around.
They took a cruise and they decided, you know what? Let's take the car.
Uh-huh.
I've seen them all. And let me tell you, I've seen so many bad drivers, especially because I drive for a living. I've seen so many bad drivers. I tell you, it has absolutely nothing to do with where they're from or anything. I've seen them all. I would have to say that the worst driver I've ever seen, absolutely the worst driver I've ever seen, was from Georgia. But I mean, that's just because I knew the guy. He lived across the street from me. He was an alcoholic. He crashed his car every single week. It's
got to have something to do with being a state route or an interstate, because Danville's a little piddling town. There's only like 30,000 people here. The street I don't live on, but we're up against, is only a 35-mile-an-hour road because it's mostly residential. It's also Illinois Route 1. I have clocked people going through at 65.
Not surprised.
And they think this stoplight out here is only a suggestion.
Uh-huh.
It's really surprised that we haven't had more accidents there than we've had.
It's like all the times that we would go when I would ride with my family up to Pontiac, and we would be on Illinois 55, heading up to Pontiac. And I remember one time my mom had the pickup; it was clocked at probably about 90 miles an hour. She's just speeding down this thing. There's nothing there. There's nothing around. Cornfield, cabbage field, cornfield. Way off in the distance, you could see that there was some kind of like manufacturing plant in the middle of nowhere that was all lit up. It was for like oil refinery or something like that. You'd go past the stop. You'd go, past the stop sign where there would be one small little gas station that wasn't open. Cornfield. There's nothing out there. You're flying down this road. She gets pulled over by the police. So she's getting pulled over by the police, pulls into a gas station that has no attendant. It's literally just credit card pumps in the middle of nowhere. This is the only thing lit up in this part of Illinois that we're in. And we're still like 2-3 hours from Pontiac. And my mom pulls in and she's waiting to get yelled at by this cop. And the cop comes up to her window and it's just all like, just want to let you know your headlight's out.
Don't care how fast you're going.
She was doing 35 miles at least over the speed limit, and he did not care about that. You know why? Because it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's nothing there.
It's like I grew up.
It's a straight road. Just go.
I grew up in a really small town. We're talking 1,000 people, small town. I'm used to looking out for deer and combines. I moved into a town of 100,000 plus on. I don't know. It was about 3 months after I moved here. And I walked in the house. I looked at Ted. I said, I am not used to looking out for these stupid drivers. I'm used to looking out for deer and combines. Oh, I hate driving here.
Now, I don't know if this is a feature that's on a lot of cars over where you're at, Mike. But on like my truck, I got a little button on the steering wheel, switch the digital display from miles per hour to kilometers per hour.
No.
Don't make the mistake I did a few weeks ago. I was pulling out of the gas station, and my thumb accidentally hit that button. I didn't realize it. I started taking off down Highway 6, and I looked down and went, holy fuck, I'm doing 70.
You were going 45.
I let off the gas and went, wait a second, I'm doing 70 and I'm not passing people? Nobody speeds down this. Look down. Oh, son of a bitch. Click.
No, I'm not entirely sure. We don't really drive in cars that new. I haven't, at least.
Well, you're gonna be experiencing a rental. You don't know what year it's going to have been paid.
Yeah.
I can tell you this, and I can tell you this right now from experience of renting cars that when you get to the rental place and you go to rent the car, it doesn't matter. They're going to ask you like, oh, would you like to have this kind of car or this kind of car or what? It doesn't matter what you pick. You're going to get a car that's a few years older, but is still in like really good condition, right? But when you first get into it and you're sitting there and checking everything out, it's going to be absolutely 100%. I have no idea what any of this stuff does. All of these controls are weird to me because you're not used to that vehicle and you will sit there.
I'm going to suggest, Mike, you probably want to go for an SUV. For the height value and
fair
legroom.
Fair. I mean, I'm used to driving around in trucks as a passenger because I work as a mover. So yeah, like higher cars. On the other hand, gas prices. Right. I mean, I would be in the United States. Gas prices would be laughably cheap. I mean, we're talking €2 to the liter here. So a liter is 1/4 of a gallon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that would be about $10 per gallon.
We're getting there. Give us time.
Yeah, I'll see you in 9 months.
Okay, guys. Well, we're gonna head to bed. So.
All right. Have a good
All
night.
right.
Have fun.
Good
I mean,
night.
night.
Thank you for being here,
Have
Dawn.
fun. Aunt Donna, that ain't happening.
Well,
I'm sorry,
I
you
also-
and Michaela Jade. I'm sorry you don't have the kind of man I have. Come here, baby.
I am so not touching that line, even in the green room.
Well,
Not
I'm
the
gonna.
green room. Good night.
There it is.
Good night,
You
Doc.
know,
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump as well. I'm up way late. I don't even know why I joined Stupid O'Clock earlier. I just I was like, I'll just join in and say hi for a minute. Why not?
Nostalgia.
It was great
Yeah.
to see you,
it's
Skunk.
good to see you, Skunk.
Nice to meet you.
You have been missed. We
Mhm.
really love having you around.
Well,
Good seeing you again, Skunk.
hey, Chris.
Glad you finally got moved into a new place.
Yeah.
I know you've been looking forward to that for a long time.
Oh yeah.
So no roommates?
No.
Good.
No. The only person that's gonna be living here is Dakota eventually. When I get them moved down. But yeah, no. I'm definitely not living with anybody who
It's making life more
Prioritizes
difficult.
entertainment over rent. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's several other things I could say, but I've resigned myself to saying that, like, I'm not gonna. He sits there and talks all sorts of smack about me to people. Apparently, that's what I've been finding out recently. And the thing is that all the stuff that he's talking about, whether some of it actually is complete BS, and some of it's true, but it's also like not in the right context. Okay.
Exaggerated.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Skunk's so damn responsible. I couldn't stand living with him. He actually me to pay bills on time.
Yeah, it's the stuff about that. That was like my only thing. My only problem was that he wasn't paying his part of the rent, which was what my whole entire issue was. It's like, you're not paying your part of the bills. Like, I'm paying for everything for you to live here. Like, that's ridiculous. And so you need to. And then he said something about. I remember one time he said something about food, and I was like, "Are you buying $600 worth of food for me? Because hey, you ain't buying $600 worth of food unless you're eating it yourself, which might explain why you can't lose any weight. And then B, even if you were buying $600 worth of food, $600 worth of food does not, help me pay for any of the stuff that needs to be paid for. $600 worth of food is not going to help keep the lights on. It's not going to help keep you in a home. You need to learn to prioritize. So and like I said, he's there's stuff. I mean, there's literal things I could talk about that he did that would put anything that anything I could say would just be talking shit. Be talking shit.
Sounds like my daughter's like psychopath.
And I could sit there and I could do that. And I could tell all these horrible stories of things that he did, but that's not the point, And he's doing enough of that about me, and I'm just like, well, whatever. I'm not gonna stoop to his level. He wants to be that guy. That's fine,
Thing is, people are gonna come back to you once they realize that he's lying.
Oh no, nobody. That's the thing is the number one thing the number one thing I'm getting from it that everybody keeps saying is, well, we're friends with both of you. Say, I'm not saying I want you to stop being his friend. I don't care about that. Yeah. Just realize that, like, that's $3,000 I'm never going to see. Somebody was like, actually, a bunch of people were like, well, you should take him to small claims court. And get what money? From what I heard, he just lost another job.
We brought my daughter back into the house. She brought her current psychopath at the time, ex-psychopath now. And we got $3,000 behind because they stopped paying us. So we ended up losing that place. So we're in an apartment now instead of the house we were in.
Yeah, that's,
that sucks.
Bloody ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Roommates are either made to be endured or forced out.
Mhm.
I
And then
had
my
no-
father-in-law and mother-in-law bitched at us because we weren't helping that same child right now. And we're like, wait, we got $3,000 behind with you guys. So you sold the house out from under us. So we had to move here to get further behind because trying to move an entire place inside of 30 days put us about another $10,000 in debt. And we're trying to climb out of that hole. And you expect us to be able to have the money to help our child? Had you not sold the house out from under us, we could have helped our child.
Mhm. It's a lot of stuff like that you always have to deal with, and it's unfortunate. People are like that. But I was gonna say, like, I don't actually have with the concept of a roommate. I don't have a problem with, and I've had great roommates that I did not have any kind of relations with. You know, Audrey was one of them. You know, when me and Audrey lived together up in Knoxville, Audrey was the only person helping. Me and Audrey were the only people who were paying the bills up there. The other people that were living up there, that were living in our apartment, were all broken. Nobody had any money.
Yeah.
Right before me and Audrey left that apartment, and Audrey moved in with Sam, and I moved back in with my dad. That was when they finally got jobs. When they all finally got jobs, that was when it happened. You know,
Yeah,
until
because
then they were
certainly-
happy living off of our money, which me and Audrey were both working at Best Buy. We weren't making a lot of money.
Yeah.
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 So
They
yeah.
are good roommates, but they are hard to find.
Yep. Right. But anyway, y'all have a great night.
Well,
You
thank
know,
you for
it's
being here,
so
Skunk.
Easy. Good to meet
Love
you.
you.
Man.
Bye.
Well, fair sign. If you guys know what that's from. Well, fair sign. Later.
Later.
Oh boy. I'm gonna grab some more coffee real quick. Yogi.
Go right ahead. I'm about to get another beer.
He's come a long way since I first met him.
Indeed.
It's been a long way since I met him.
It's been a long time, but I have never stopped loving that boy.
Well,
I
he's a
couldn't be
great guy.
prouder of him if he was my own.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't moved a whit since I just met him.
Oh,
Trust me, he's grown up quite a bit.
Mhm.
He's
He
still a
seems
lot
like
of
good
fun,
people.
and he still can be irreverent. And
And the problem with that is,
there's no problem with it. It's fun. It's part of his charm.
It's fun, but he's not the mad young man he used to be.
No, he doesn't have the
He's-
anger and
he's
the
happy,
resentment
yeah.
he once had.
yep.
That's what I'm
Um,
most proud of.
Well, the thing is, he's taking control. He's not being somebody else's victim,
Mm-hmm.
and he's so kind-hearted that used to be it was hard for him to escape that, but he's taking control of his life and he's doing his own thing, and now he's in charge. So
Well, when you're super passionate about stuff, it's easy to have your emotions on your sleeve
yeah,
and let your feathers get ruffled very easily, which he used to do. But like you said, he's not letting it control him like it once did. He's in control. So he's dealing with it.
hmm
And like I said, I'm proud of him.
Mm-hmm.
I am too. And actually, I wish I was more interested in wrestling so that I could be there to cheer him on sometimes when he's doing
Yeah.
what he
I
loves.
definitely want to see him one day. It's just schedule has been so screwy.
Hey, it's a state away. I can't be there, but you
Well,
know, don't keep me from wishing I was.
yeah, and like I said, I've got so many different things I'm juggling. Yeah, but
Ooh, that is one flat beer can.
yep.
Don't keep me from trying to make it. Oh, I just made it flatter. Ah,
I remember the old light beer from Miller commercials. It had
Uh-huh.
the ex-football players and whatnot with it. You remember one with L.C. Greenwood said, I always thought it was easier opening cans. He just ripped that sucker in half.
Yeah, but it foams up everywhere, and you lose about half the can.
Oh, it was empty when he did it.
Oh, now when Lindsay and I went to England, I was doing this. Her nephew had a little home pub,
Mhm.
like a rec room in the backyard,
Cool.
and I started crushing my cans. He goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "Well, y'all do recycling, don't you? This makes sure that you don't fill up the bag real quick." And they're going, "How do you do that?" And I go, "It's that easy." And after that, I think the people that came by and got their recycling were really pissed because the bag was a whole lot heavier. Um,
Mhm.
but it's just one of those things. Let's call it cultural difference. I don't know what to say, but it's like I introduced a new sin: efficient recycling. Ha ha! I'm good at efficiency.
Well, they need to learn that there's different ways you can do stuff.
Well, everybody does. It doesn't matter, cross the pond or cross culture or whatever. There's almost everything you do. There's a way that you have never thought of before, which may either be better or worse, but you've never been exposed to it. So when you see it, you go, "I'm going to try that." And if it
Mhm.
works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There's no value judgment involved.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with learning different ways to do stuff. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
some of them are more efficient. Some of them, what might be easier for you uh, might not be easier for somebody else. But there's another person altogether chose a way that both of y'all could find easier than the way each of y'all did it. But like I said, it just depends on the
Oh,
circumstances and the knowledge, and
I'll see
how
what I
everything
can do,
works out.
Chris.
What was that?
Chris asked me to share something here,
Yeah,
and I don't know that it's going to work.
yeah. I don't
But
know that will either, but I figured it was worth a try.
let's see. Do, 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 do. Where's the fricking button? Um, no, seriously. Where? Okay. I found it.
If this pulls up, Mike, it will show you some of what you're dealing with, or going to be dealing with.
Honestly, I've seen a lot of weird shit. I mean, driving a truck nearly daily, like you see weird people, and okay.
Oh,
I'm
I
gonna be fair. In the Netherlands, it is one of the hardest places to get your license because we're very strict.
Yeah.
Like safety is one of the biggest things. Like you don't just get your license with a couple of hours of um, driving around with someone else in the car.
Yeah.
This is and you you learn to drive a stick
Mhm.
besides automatic.
Yep.
So the Netherlands is known for its safety. We are some of the best drivers in the world because of it.
oh,
Well,
my
Um,
condolences for coming over here. Then
that being said, because we're some of the best drivers in the world, you don't expect the worst drivers in the world.
Well,
you
Yeah.
better if you're getting off an airplane in Atlanta.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
well,
the thing is, you have some really good drivers, but you have way more bad drivers,
mhm.
and you have to
Over
so
keep
here.
your eye
Yeah.
out for the idiots.
so my day job, Mike, which you've probably heard me say this before, I do road construction inspection. This
I don't know if
last
you can zoom
project.
that or not, Dan.
Huh?
I don't know if you can zoom that or not.
I don't believe I can. Or if it's possible, I don't know how.
Just hover over it and scroll your mouse wheel.
There's
Um,
the little plus symbol. You get little. I don't know why I'm pointing it at on my fucking screen like you can see what the hell I'm pointing at. There's a
nope.
up in the top. I'm still doing it. Jesus, up in the top right of the screen where it has
Oh,
like
the
the
little
share and everything.
magnifying glass
Yeah, magnifying
Yeah.
glass. Thank you.
with the plus symbol.
Nope. It's just
It's
not
a
doing it.
screenshot.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
screen. It's a full screenshot.
it-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It-
Let me
it's,
go.
it's a picture of a screenshot. I couldn't transfer it from Google Earth.
Let me see.
But anyway, down there at the bottom is Hartsfield Jackson Airport.
Yeah.
Way down there at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah,
It takes up almost the whole bottom of the screen.
the west side of the airport is bordered by I-85. Oh, we got it.
Here we go. You know, how about I just go to Atlanta Airport on Google Maps. And let me share
Well, the
that so you
problem
can actually
is-
show me live.
It's too easy to get a driver's license, number one. And number two, we've got people who don't have driver's license who still drive.
Yeah. Here, that's a lot harder.
I keep meaning to have a word with Nabisco about including those in Cracker Jacks boxes as prizes, but
Right.
Um,
You would probably enjoy the book I put out on Amazon, Mike. It's different shit that I've seen on the job site over the years.
I'm afraid to ask.
Between 2010 and 2013, roughly. But this past year, just on this project alone, I could probably do most of a value. We had one guy. We had our construction zone split, so there's 2 lanes on either side of us. In the second lane from the left, we had a guy just stop in the middle of the road. Project manager pulled up, asked him because he saw his hazards on and everything, asked if he ran out of gas, broke down, whatever. The guy hops our construction wall, goes up to the project manager's truck and goes, "No, man, I have an ankle monitor on. I can't cross the state line."
Well.
And his next exit wasn't until after the state line. Because he was in one of the 2 left lanes. So the project manager told him, "Well, you're probably going to want to just go down, make the quick loop at Torrance, come back."
Yeah.
The guy goes, "Well, it's okay. My cousin's on the way." Okay, what's your cousin going to do? Apparently, these 2 people share the same brain cell. Because he convinced his cousin, he was heading westbound. He convinced his cousin to stop in the left lane of eastbound traffic that had no shoulder to pull off on, so that they could hop the walls and switch vehicles.
Wow.
That's just one of the things I've seen this last year. We had the guy that decided to stop in that same lane in the middle of broad daylight and get out to take a piss. Traffic wasn't stopped. He just decided to stop. My wife got a picture of that. Didn't realize he was taking a piss at first.
Let's see. Yeah, they're just because I opened Google Maps because easy. Yeah, you're looking at there we go. Top north I-75 done. Just keep going.
yeah, there's There's 6 lanes in each direction in the downtown connector.
I honestly am not surprised.
Yeah, and all 6 of them are full of idiots that can't drive.
Yeah, and the bad part is you have essentially I-285, if you look closely, resembles the outline of the state of Maine.
I thought we
Yeah.
fucked up roads around Indy.
And
Oh, no.
I-85 crosses this way, runs from southwest to northeast, and 75 runs from
Well, if Dan shares my screen, we can
southeast
actually
to
look at it
northwest.
live.
I will do that if I. Oh, okay. Oh, whoop. Scroll too far. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, that's
So-
downtown.
Yeah. The other option is just take a little longer
Yeah.
and go the outside route. Take
Oh,
the
man,
tourist
it's
route. I
taking
mean,
me
I'm a
up
tourist. I'm
41.
a tourist anyway.
Yep. Yeah, you're going up 285, out I-20, and then over to 41.
Yeah, so that's
I
285.
didn't realize
Yeah.
US 41 ran down through Georgia.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, 41 runs all the way through Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I used to plow
Yeah.
41 in
The-
Indiana.
Well-
the- now, Mike, Jimmy, the easiest way to keep from getting lost is to go ahead and take 75 north.
Yeah. Well, I chose it
But,
at 75. But this way I go around downtown Atlanta.
Yep.
That's the only thing.
Actually, if
yeah.
you're going to have your girlfriend with you, you can stay in the diamond lanes because those require 2 people minimum.
Ah, yeah.
And you can stay in the center and
You
avoid
could
a
have
lot
knocked
of
that
the
down
traffic.
on you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like an hour and 15 minutes is actually a lot less than I expected. Still.
Yeah, but you're going to spend an hour of it trying to get through Atlanta. The other
Yeah.
50 minutes is once you get out of Atlanta and go
It's
north.
just,
If you're
yeah.
lucky, you get through Atlanta in an hour. I've gotten through Atlanta in as little as 50 minutes on a really good day, from top to bottom. And on a really bad day, 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I can go one better. It took us 4 hours to get just a quarter of the. What is that? What is that, Joe? 275 around Indy.
465.
465. Yeah, just a quarter of the way from 74 down to Greenwood. 4 hours.
When I arrived in San Diego in 2017, I hadn't slept for 3 days because apparently I don't sleep when I'm traveling.
Mm-hmm.
My friends picked me up on LA airport.
Mm-hmm.
We drove to San Diego. It took us 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing about California is it's a surprisingly large state. It's actually the third biggest in the country after Texas and Alaska.
It's just almost the entire West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really.
But I think this is about this, just a bit longer than. Well, this is a little shorter than Atlanta, San Diego to LA.
Just to give you an idea of how big California is, San Bernardino County is slightly larger than the state of Connecticut.
Yeah, that does not give me any scaling. I mean, I live in a country that is this big. You drive 2 hours in any directions, right? You're going to end up in the sea, or you're going to end up in a different country.
Yep.
Yeah, I can drive 2 hours south and I'm still in the same state with another 4 hours to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
And Georgia is the biggest state east of the Mississippi River. Slightly larger than Florida.
Now, the one
An
nice
area.
thing about being in my area, at least, with the way I-80, I-94 is set up,
Mm-hmm.
when I used to plow for the state, most of the time when I got called out, it's already snowing, and well, these drivers can't drive on 94 on a dry, sunny day, let alone snow flying.
Yeah.
There were so many accidents that the interstate was, for all intents and purposes, might as well have been shut down.
Yeah.
I very quickly learned how to ramp hop. I'd get off on one exit, make the little loop, come back down the westbound exit,
Oh yeah.
take that lane all the way up to the next exit, sort of go around. Did that for 5 miles down the interstate. And still made it to work with 20 minutes to spare.
Nice.
Well, that's one thing about it. If you live in an area long enough, you learn as many different ways to get to different places.
Or you learn the way that nobody takes, and you take that all the time.
Well, the easier way would have been taking, and Richie will know the area I'm talking about, US 12 and 20 through Gary. But nobody likes to drive through Gary, Indiana. You're an exception.
I grew up in Crown Point.
He's going the path of least resistance.
Driving through Gary is how I got to like 90% of the county.
Well, that's because Gary is 90% of the county. If
There
you go by zip codes.
There was one winter when I was having to drive to work and then leave work halfway during the day and go to college, and then leave college and drive back to work for the remaining couple of hours of the workday. We had a foot of snow on the ground. My normal route would have been a straight line, only varying in altitude, just lots of hills.
Yep.
Until I got to Athens. I pulled up at the stop sign where I normally would take a left, and about 35 cars went by, going very slowly. And I thought to myself, if I get behind them, I'm going to be late. So I crossed the road instead of turning left and took the same route that I took with the tractor to go to fields that I normally had to plow or plant something in. It's still a foot of snow on the ground, but nobody used those roads.
Yeah.
Only the people that were trying to get to the other road that I was trying to avoid. I wound up doing about 45 to 50 miles an hour on an empty back road with a foot of snow on the ground in a 1975 Impala with 300 horsepower and a whole lot of weight in that car. So I didn't slide, or there were no dangerous curves or anything.
The White House.
I wound up getting to the vital intersection that got me back on my normal route about 30 seconds before the people that I was trying to avoid finally got there.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the last model before they had the smaller one, right?
They started shrinking them, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Because my great aunt had a 72 Impala, and that thing would
oh, yeah.
I miss my Impala.
Hey, it's a great car even now, although it's not as good as it used to be.
I miss my Ford Elite.
Well, folks, I am going to bow out for the night. So,
all right, Joe.
Breakfast with the missus.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Appreciate you joining in.
Yep.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
You too. And I did send you an email, Mike Jimmy. So
I saw. Yeah,
Yep.
you'll get them after the stream, pretty much.
whatever. So,
Mm.
but you all have a good night, and I'll see you next time.
All right,
All
take care,
right,
Joe.
and thank you
Thank you,
very
Matt.
much. Oh, I don't want to say people in Georgia are really bad drivers, but we do have a disproportionately large percentage of idiots here.
Okay.
It's a mixed bag, Dan. There's a lot of those, but there's a lot of good drivers too.
Oh
It's-
yeah, I know. I see them all the time.
The
It's
thing
like,
is, the bad drivers are so remarkably bad that they'll take out 20 or 30 good drivers easily.
Okay. I've driven in Georgia. There's one other state. You know, Missouri is called the Show Me State.
Yep.
It stands for Show Me How to Drive.
Well, I have family out there, but they were originally from Georgia, so.
But
Now,
trust me, it's harder to drive in Missouri than it is in Georgia.
I have run into places that actually the traffic was worse than 285 in Atlanta. One of them is the Beltway Loop around Washington, D.C.
Nashville's pretty bad right now because all the road construction trying to improve their interstates.
Well, one of the other ones was something I had been used to being able to navigate with no problem, but Knoxville during the run up to the World's Fair.
Yeah.
This was like you get off your exit from a huge road. I mean, whatever, and you're trying to go through Knoxville, and all of a sudden, and this is before the movie came out, you're driving a light cycle in Tron with two walls on either side. And you don't know, you have no way of knowing you can only see straight ahead or overhead and hope that you find the right sign, because almost every lane you got into ended in 500 feet.
Oh, that was the worst.
And it's seriously, I had been driving this particular route for between the time I was 16 and the time I was 20, and they changed everything.
Well, and the Nashville road work, the last time I went through there wasn't much better. It was slightly better than that, but it wasn't much better. I remember going to see a Falcons-Titans preseason game at Nashville Stadium. And I remember us taking over 30 minutes to go 0.5 of a mile.
Yep. Well, the bad thing about going through Knoxville is even at the best of times, people change tires. They will change a flat tire at 75 miles an hour. They do not bother to pull over and stop. They just do it while you're running. Seriously, it's madness. It is a utter madness. But DC is worse because it's Washington DC. It doesn't matter. 24/7. It's people trying to get someplace that they need to be 5 minutes ago, and they left home 5 hours early, and for some reason they think breaking the sound barrier is a normal thing. In a snowstorm, it's enough to drive you crazy. The sanest roads I've ever been on were out in New Mexico, where there ain't nothing but road for 1,000 miles.
And there ain't a whole lot of traffic on them.
And the speed limit is like 75 miles an hour. And I was sweared on my soul, I was driving north from Socorro to Albuquerque. And speed limit 75. I'd never seen anything that high before on any road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even trying to push above the speed limit. I've just got the cruise control set. We're going on. We're going on. We're going on. About 6 hours later, I'm going, have we crossed a quarter inch in the map yet or what?
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I get this sign popping up going, reduced speed ahead. I'm doing 75. I'm going, okay, turn the cruise control off, slow down. All of a sudden, the road went from 75 to 35 for 100 yards, 100 meters. There was a cop sitting there on the side of the road at one gas station.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, that gas station had the priority to make everybody slow down and go, oh, I wonder if they got a gift shop. I need a cup of coffee, whatever. 100 yards later, past the gas station, back to 75 miles an hour. And I'm going, I wonder which politician owns that property.
Yeah.
Or family.
Okay, so no. Actually, thinking about it, right? So you've been driving for 6 hours. You know, you're going miles and miles of miles and miles and miles.
Uh-huh.
You're not seeing a gas station that often.
Not that often.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So if you slow down, you actually look at, your gas meter going, do I have to? And yeah, if you're not even sure you're gonna see another gas station in the next 50 miles, you might just want to, fuel up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that stupid, actually.
Well, it's not, except for the fact that
it's highly inconvenient.
For sure.
The rental car was getting great gas mileage. It was filled up when I left. I forget when
Girl?
Well, I had to drive from. I had to drive from Albuquerque to get to Socorro.
Yeah.
And then fill up and go back. Because the big airport's in Albuquerque, but I had to be in Socorro. Went out past the VLA, the Very Large Array Radio Dish thing, to visit Lindsay's youngest daughter. We spent a couple of days there, and then went back and we're going back north to attend her son's graduation from University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. So I had already driven it once. Now I was going back. You'd think I had advance warning of the 35-mile-an-hour gas station, but no. I had forgotten that thing existed. There was one roadside rest area that we pulled over and stopped because it's a rental car and I wanted to smoke a cigarette. Because I mean, seriously, it's been a long time. It was like a set of a Clint Eastwood movie, but it was a roadside rest area. It really looked like a spaghetti western village, but it was totally empty except for some vending machines and a lot of places where you could actually sit at a table and eat whatever microwave food that you got out of the vending machine.
That is cool.
Yeah, it
Honestly.
was. It was totally cool. I liked that, and it was themed. I mean, obviously, New Mexico, Wild West. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they had done it up right. I mean, it looked like it had been sitting there as some ghost town for 150 years, and you're just driving by and go, "Yeah, I think I'll pull over here and get a Coca-Cola and a microwave pizza, and hope they don't have gas station sushi."
Oh no.
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah. That's one of those things. That's one of those things that do exist, but I don't know how or why it still exists because ain't nobody in their right mind going to buy that shit.
Well, the
The
one
number
good
of
thing,
people that aren't in their right mind.
Oh, welcome to the United States. Yes.
the one good thing about Georgia, especially south of Atlanta, there's a number of rest areas where you can pull over and go to the men's room and get stuff out of the vending machines, and some of them even have tourism booths and all, where you could get info of places of interest. But
And they always
there is one.
they always have this huge map going, "You are here.
Yep.
The rest of the civilization is not here."
Now in Illinois, we don't have a lot of rest stops, not state-owned ones. We do have this nice little rest stop though called Casey's.
Mhm. Well, between Atlanta and Chattanooga, there is one. Well, there's one right at the Tennessee state line, but in Georgia,
Yeah.
there's only one. It's in Adairsville, which is in
Mhm.
between Adairsville and Calhoun. And on 75 southbound, there's one near Ringgold, and then there's another one near Resaca, which is just north of Calhoun.
Yeah.
Mm, sweet baby.
And then
Yeah.
after you get to Atlanta, there's nothing for a while till you get basically to 475.
Well, not a state rest area, but
Yeah,
you can always pull off at a restaurant, fast food
Yeah.
place,
Hmm.
and rush in, do what you got to do, rush out. People might look at you funny because you didn't buy a sandwich or whatever, but they don't yell at you or call the cops because you didn't.
Sorry, the
Yeah,
mere idea
crazy.
of your food gave me diarrhea. I gotta go.
Really.
there's
Yeah.
there's so many rural spots in between
Mhm.
Macon and Valdosta that's why you have a lot of rest areas,
Oh yeah.
because some of them don't have places where you can go into and do your business.
It doesn't matter how small the town is in Illinois or how lived in the town is in Illinois. You can drive into it. There's a Casey's. I can get pizza and gas.
Northwest Indiana's not too far different. We got Casey's all about as well.
Well,
Well,
down
we don't
here-
have many yet, but we've got two Buc-ee's in Georgia.
Yeah. For us, that's McDonald's. We have a McDonald's on every bloody corner
Hey,
in the Netherlands.
if you in Georgia, if you need a restroom, look for the McDonald's.
Oh no,
If-
fair. No, for sure. Agreed.
Mhm.
And if you want something good to eat, look for an Arby's.
Well, yeah.
I'm
Look,
so
we
glad
don't
that
eat McDonald's here, and we have higher food standards over than there.
Yeah,
Well-
yep.
The French fries are good.
No, they're not. They're awful.
Mm,
I,
You know,
I've had them
over
and
here.
seen them out here. They suck.
Let me clarify.
because
the
no
food
downtown
available at
Chicago places
McDonald's.
Yeah, really.
have restaurant
Of
access.
everything that you could get at a U.S.
True.
McDonald's, the fries are usually the least inoffensive.
Yeah,
That is true. Yeah, give me
you
Burger King
definitely
curly
the
fries.
quality's
like we get them
not
here.
what it once was.
Yeah, definitely look for an Arby's. I mean, seriously.
Oh,
I,
yes.
I will stop at an Arby's even if I have to turn against 5 lanes of traffic.
If you took food from McDonald's from the 70s and early 80s, it is 20 times better than what they serve now.
Obviously.
Oh,
Misty and Crow love Arby's. I am so Arby'sed out, it's not even funny.
now I remember when we were commuting from Detroit to north of Knoxville, and this was back in the day when a lot of folks didn't know what McDonald's was
Mhm.
because it was basically brand new,
Yeah.
and you could get an entire family meal for about what amounted to $10 for 4 people.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I know I'm only
Nowadays, you're lucky if you
3, but
$10
this is
a
pretty
person.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah, and back in the day, there were places we would get to and go, oh wow, we're here. We can have a regular McDonald's hamburger and fries and a milkshake, and it'll only cost Dad 50 cents.
Mhm.
Whole damn meal.
Mhm.
Good Lord.
You know what I miss, Dan?
What?
I miss the Shoney's breakfast bars.
Oh, Shoney's. Oh my
Oh,
God.
yes.
Oh my God.
Shoney's
I'm too young
was
for
the
this.
best, and yes, we did have one here in Danville.
This
Okay.
was for a roadside fast food place. Shoney's Big Boy was something upper class. I mean, seriously. It's
Here's
one
a
of
really
those.
funny Shoney's story. My sister-in-law loves Shoney's. So we were down in Florida a few years ago when I actually had to drive down. Of course, I think there might be like 5 Shoney's that are still in operation across the entire United States, if that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But right by the house that my son had rented for the week, because he was going to be going to Universal a lot and spending time with my in-laws and stuff like that. So he rented a house down there. My son's 30. So we're down there, and my sister-in-law gets really, really excited because she sees a Shoney's like quarter mile away, and of course it's closed. So for the past several years, her oldest, her husband, my oldest, have been bombarding the family group text in Facebook with Shoney's images. You know, darn, I wish it was open, just to mess with my sister-in-law.
Mhm.
And this is the sister-in-law I actually like. I like both my sister-in-laws. Both my sister-in-laws are really nice ladies. One of them I'm actually friends with. The other,
You just
I
kind
can
of
take her. I can take her leave. It's sometimes she says shit.
Mutual respect, but that's about it.
I think I respect her more than she respects me, but that's besides the point.
Eh,
Which is one of the reasons why I'm like,
fair.
But so yeah, this is the sister-in-law that I'm actually friends with. The sister-in-law that's actually responsible for Misty and I getting together. So I'm trying to figure out why she likes me so much and hates her sister so much. But I just This is also the sister-in-law I hate playing games with. Because not only is she a bad loser, she's a bad winner as well.
Mm.
When you've got bad winners, I will cheat my ass off. Not to make sure that I win, just to make sure that they don't.
That's the best reason.
I don't care about winning. I'm in it to have fun. And you know what makes me have a lot of fun? Foiling people that I think are ruining the fun of others.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of fun.
My
Did you know
parents
that-
made me dick for a reason.
Did you know that some Shoney's actually had hotels or maybe motels?
Yeah.
Um,
I
of
think
course-
those later were bought out by Howard Johnson's.
yeah, probably. This is about 30 years ago. My
Mhm.
parents would go because of my father's heart condition. They had a place down in Florida that they'd go for the winter,
Mhm.
and they were driving back home, and they knew that I didn't watch television live, but I happened to slip out the tape that I was watching, and the local news came in about the snowstorm in Alabama and how many people it was stranding. And I didn't, of course, that was before cell phones. I didn't have a way to get a hold of them to see where they were. They come sauntering in the next day. They had gotten stranded at a Shoney's, and Shoney's put everybody in the restaurant up for the night, fed them breakfast, and didn't charge them anybody a cent.
Oh wow!
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Wow!
Now, Mike, Jimmy,
That earned them a lot of repeat business.
if when you are driving through Georgia and you actually get hungry, there are fast food places, and then there are sit down restaurants.
Like anywhere.
Yeah.
And the compromise between the two is the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
And that is, the food's good, and the
The
attached
gift shop is wonderful.
the attached gift shop is one of those things where you have just got to see this to believe it. There's so much crap there.
You got that from the Cracker Barrel?
Oh,
Invest in these depending on where you're going.
Mhm.
Especially if you stop at a Denny's. Denny's are very hit or miss. They're either really fucking awesome or really fucking terrible.
Yeah, there's actually
no,
one.
No middle.
Depends on the
road for them.
staff. Yeah, there's no middle ground. They're either great or they are. Oh God, I wish I had passed this by.
Yeah, there's one
Yeah.
attached to the Flying J, which is the Resaca exit, which is in between
Mhm.
Calhoun and Dalton.
Now another good thing.
Antacid of your choice will be your best friend when traveling in the U.S. Just in case.
Yeah.
Another thing to look out for is a place called Fuddruckers.
I miss Fuddruckers.
Yeah, they closed down the one they had in Dalton.
I think we still have one in Champaign.
We've got
Speaking,
the first one I ever went to was in Albuquerque, and there was one that recently opened up right next to Highway 85 in a town about 20 minutes away from where I actually live. And you pull in there and you think, oh, this is just a truck stop. It's going to be a greasy spoon. God
Yeah.
help me, don't let me order the chili. You go in there and you can get anything from fish and chips to build your own hamburger with 57 or 60 some odd different things you could put on a hamburger.
Uh-oh.
There's actually a condiment bar.
It's
Oh, wow.
it's dangerous.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Hey,
It-
Aunt Donna.
Hmm?
Speaking of Fuddruckers, my uncle had a shirt that you would have got a kick out of. It said, "You won't believe how big it is at Fuddruckers."
And I was
The
wrong.
salad is served
This
in a
one's-
punch bowl.
Way down south.
Oh boy.
Oh yes, I'm telling you not only what you should look out for in a good way, but what you should look out for in a bad way. If you don't want to eat enough to gain 5 pounds before you leave the parking lot, avoid the Fuddruckers because that food is good.
Yeah. The salad is served in a punch bowl. My best friend and I used to go get the salad, the chicken salad, and then we'd order an extra chicken breast or two for it because there was so much that the two that came with the salad, 2 chicken breasts came with the salad.
Oh my
Wasn't
God.
enough chicken to lettuce ratio.
Oh boy.
You have a sweet tooth, Mike.
And they do indeed have a takeaway box. Anything you can't eat right
Oh,
then,
boy.
and you've got to leave. You can put in a little styrofoam box and take with you.
Do you have a sweet
Mike?
tooth, Mike?
You're probably
I mean,
going
a bit.
to gain some
A
weight.
little bit. Be careful with Cracker Barrel. They have got the most wonderful selection,
The sour balls?
old time and new time candy.
Ah.
And the pies.
Do you know
Oh
there's
my
a vanilla
God.
moon
I miss
pie?
Baker Square.
And the
when
cool
we go,
thing,
when we go on a trip, I stop by Cracker Barrel and buy a paper bag full of snacks and candy to take with us. And it's not bad prices.
No, but they don't last long because they taste so good. You're not going to stop.
Sure,
You know
get
you
the
should
fat boy
stop,
thinking
but
about
you're not
food
going to stop.
when we don't have 24-hour restaurants around anymore. You
Real
torturous bastards.
pecan logs.
actually, we
And
have
cashew
Waffle House.
logs.
They're
Oh, boy.
24 hours.
Waffle House
Yeah, but I
Huddle
don't have
House.
one here.
and
I
the
know.
International House of Pancakes, which is not as good as Waffle House, believe me.
I
But
have
Rich,
this
The worst
cheese.
part. Okay, so the
Rich,
worst part
if you're
is I
planning on
don't.
coming,
What?
if you're planning on coming to Hallowcon, there is one about 3/10 of a mile from our hotel.
Yeah, I've been
And-
told several times. It is
Have I-
legendary at this point.
Have I told you
It
guys my IHOP story?
Nope.
Nope.
Not sure.
The
Okay,
one in Dalton isn't even open 24 hours anymore.
so
The IHOP.
Yep.
Misty and I went to IHOP. We brought Crow with us, and Derry has no longer decided to be my friend. So
Oh,
there was a lot of cheese in my eggs and stuff like that. So I needed to hit the head before we headed out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in there, and of course they're piping the music into the bathroom, and it sounds kind of weird, just kind of slightly off, and I couldn't figure out why. So I sit down, I'm taking care of business, and then all of a sudden the song changes. So there's a couple seconds worth of silence between songs, and all of a sudden I hear from somebody's phone or tablet in the next stall, smack my ass. Or no, fuck my ass. So I'm like, what? Someone was cranking it in the next stall. So I'm walking out, and as I'm leaving the bathroom, I have still the bathroom door open, and I say very loudly, I'm like, if you're doing porn in a bathroom stall, you might want to invest in earphones. so that the people out by the bathroom will know the next guy walking out was cranking it. So yeah, it's one thing you don't expect. You're sitting there and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, fuck my head. What?
No,
No, thank you.
no.
I've never been to IHOP.
You know,
Their
the worst
food's
part
not
is about you guys going, yeah, you're gonna gain some weight. Look, I can go to a festival here in the Netherlands, sit around all day, drink to my heart's content until my legs hurt, eat meat straight from the grill for 5 days straight,
Hmm.
the whole shebang, and I will have a belly. I come home, go to the toilet once, and it's gone. And I'm back to 69 kilos.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Can I borrow your metabolism for a weekend?
Yes.
I
Southern
was thinking
food
the same
tends to
thing.
I'll give it
stick with you
back.
a little longer.
You know what the worst part is? I know it's not going to change. My dad is 4 inches shorter than me and has finally crossed the 70 kilos. He is now at 72. He has a belly.
That's what, 144 pounds ish.
Yeah, something like that.
Shit.
Yeah, no, like
I haven't seen
there is nothing
144
here.
since grade school.
I'm
Yeah,
not
same
allowed
here.
to be outside under 5 degrees, like under freezing, because I break down. Things just stop working completely. Like there's no fat to isolate this.
I haven't seen 144 pounds since 1996.
I haven't seen 144 pounds since probably 1983.
Ironically,
I was 10.
my doctor says the best weight for me is between 200 and 210 because of my birth mother not having any natal care when she was carrying me.
Mm.
I'm like, okay, I can do that. Then that one damn doctor gave me steroids and I ended up at 365.
Oops.
Huh?
When I got out of the wheelchair, I weighed 365 pounds.
Ouch.
And since it was steroid weight, it's taken me 15 years to lose 100 pounds of that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, 130 pounds I've lost.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's very well done.
I never could have pictured you weighing that much.
Yeah, well, the doctor who was supposedly taking care of me and gave me all the steroids made this comment at one of my appointments that he wasn't happy with my weight gain. And I'm like, you and I both know the best diet in the world is not going to help me until you get my ass out of this chair.
Yeah.
And he's like, I suppose you want physical therapy or something. And I'm like, yeah, think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't lift my foot. I could only lift my foot high enough for Carl to put my clothes on over my feet. He had to dress me.
Wow. Yeah, that is not worth the life.
I like your cat, Mike.
He's sweet Shelby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's being a little aggressive. Playful. Yeah. She's a sweet little thing. She's going to be alone for a night again.
Yeah.
So I'm going off to my girlfriend
Hmm.
after this.
The cat that I had when I met Carl did not like men. She only tolerated my father because she loved my mother so much. Because my mother would call from Florida and talk to the damn cat.
Mhm.
She knew when I would come home late from work, and it'd be okay as long as I had a light on. Because my cat was also afraid of the dark.
Ah,
Oh, is this the one that triggers the clapper? Or
Yeah,
triggered the clapper?
he knew how to trigger the clapper. Yes. But if I came home from a date, she would meow at me and just be so mad. You've been out with a man.
how dare you?
And then Carl came into our lives, and she was like, "Oh, I think I like him." And I'm like, "Shit, I'm stuck."
He does have a certain amount of charm.
He does.
He kinda. That and he used to play the saxophone.
Helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's lots of great restaurant choices in the South. I wish Dan was here so he could chime in on this, but there's a place called the Marietta Diner, which is something to behold because it's done up like an old style diner. Got a real shiny metal exterior with bright neon lights and huge menu of stuff you can choose from. And it's sort of like the city cafe where they've got like a ton of desserts you can choose from, and they'll like cut you slices of cakes that they've made for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing too. When you look at a Waffle House, you're gonna think that place is a dump because most of them look, especially the ones that are in the mini malls. The ones that are separate buildings look a little better, but usually they look like a dump.
It also depends on how old the Waffle House is.
Mm-hmm.
The one near the hotel is actually really nice.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a separate building too.
Yeah, it's in between the Burger King and the Mapco. The parking's tight, but like I said, it's a nice one.
It's worth it though.
Yeah, you
can come down with us when we go down for breakfast.
There are four Waffle Houses within 2 miles.
And that's the thing about the hotel. Their idea of breakfast is
continental.
It's bare minimum.
Prepackaged. It's a prepackaged Danish and a pot of coffee, or they do have a waffle maker there, but usually when I went down for breakfast, it was too early for all that stuff to be loaded up where you could do anything. Or cereal.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
yep. You're better off. It's early morning. Chances are you're almost sober enough to drive. You just go to a restaurant.
Well, Uncle Carl's going to be sober enough to drive in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't see how.
I should be too. I mean, honestly, I'm not. I can't drink generally. Like, if I drink, it is on occasion because I really want to, and I'm very much social.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
There's a Cracker Barrel and a Waffle House. The next exit below, there's a Waffle House on our exit. There is an IHOP on the exit below.
That is hard choices. Do I go to Cracker Barrel for a fucking feast, or
Steak
do I go to Waffle House for
gravy.
there's really good stuff, and it should be really great, depending on the Waffle House, as was pointed out while I was away. I don't know. Cracker Barrel is going to be a little bit more expensive, but the quality goes up with the cost of the repast.
Well,
I gotta have at least
Yeah.
one peanut butter waffle.
and the good thing about IHOP, if you go there, is the breakfast sampler.
Oh,
Forgot about that, didn't you?
no, I didn't. It's just I haven't been to a good IHOP in ages.
And it's Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays the con, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, to be honest, for the convention, you want to show up Thursday afternoon,
Yeah.
Thursday night. You don't want to check out of the hotel until Monday morning because Sunday,
of my drive, I am probably going to get there on Wednesday.
oh,
So I've got
okay.
time to detox.
Yeah.
Well, the important
We
thing
won't be there
is
till Friday.
that you are there for the Sunday after the convention has ended and we are packing everything up party. Now,
Referred to as the dead dog.
the dead dog, and it is not as elaborate as other conventions do their dead dog, but it's one of those things where nobody's around except for hardcore like us. And you can let your hair down and talk with even more. But okay, it's a live green room.
With no cameras rolling.
Yeah.
And
No
in
cameras
person.
around for a good reason.
Yes.
Dan and Chris
Yes, dear.
can't have any Joe Dog's moonshine. Thank the gods.
No, but the
Should I? No,
the
no, no,
liquor
no.
store at the bottom of the hill sells your brand.
That's what I was going to ask you. Should I tease Joe Dog by bringing in my nasty flavored moonshine and drinking it in front of him?
It wouldn't matter because he can't.
That's up
He
to
can't
you.
have any more
Yeah.
ever.
But it's his opinion of flavored moonshine.
Who cares? It's Joe Dog. He's not the be all and end all.
But
We
I like
like
to jerk his chain, just like he likes to jerk everybody else's chain.
He's not as clever as he thinks he is.
it's
He was so mad.
it's all right. It's all right. I realize this is being recorded, but you know, Joe Dog has his hobbies, and one of those is tweaking people and trying to get a reaction. When it doesn't work,
He's so
very
disappointed.
disappointed.
Yep.
I need to make sure to bring some lime juice down.
Ooh, yep.
Well,
Some Kraken, some lime juice, some ginger ale.
You
well,
are
I
really,
will tell you
you
this.
are really happy with those dark and stormies, aren't you? Now, you got to tell me how much lime juice that you put in yours.
The recipe I found said half an ounce.
Okay, yeah, I just put a splash in my. I started out with about an ounce, and then I scaled it down and I scaled it down and I scaled it down till I found the right mix for the rum that I had and the actual ginger ale that I have, because the ginger ale is the vital part of that.
I actually found a ginger ale that I don't mind drinking. I don't like Canada Dry, or at least I didn't when I was younger. But Friday when I was grabbing some soda, I saw Kroger's ginger ale. I'm like, fuck it, try it.
Yeah,
Kroger?
Kroger has good ginger ale. I can actually drink this.
Rich, there's a Kroger within. There's two Krogers actually One of them is within a mile and a half, and the other one was within another 3 miles.
We don't have any Krogers anymore.
I
But-
know where the first one is.
Yeah.
Come with me, my Padawan.
I know where all of it is because I live here.
Yeah, no. No,
Uh,
and Kroger usually carries a brand called Q, which is ginger beer.
Which is actually what the recipe was calling for, is ginger beer.
Yeah.
It's not alcoholic, but it is the carbonation is a little bit heavier, and the ginger is NASA rocket fuel scale ginger. So this is some good shit.
There's 4 liquor stores within a mile and a half of the.
And one of them is
hotel.
just down the hill from the
Yep.
hotel. You could walk there.
No, you can't. You know how freaking steep that hill is?
You
Yes, I
could
do.
walk it, but why would you want to?
Yeah, really. You got a car. Just go
This-
ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say. No,
Nostalgia. I grew up
Chris,
having
one
a
of
really steep driveway and a really steep hill to the lake. So
no,
I'm used
Chris,
to driving
one
a
of the
bike.
things I
Then
broke
again,
was my
in the
go
Netherlands.
down. I can't go down slopes or stairs or anything. Like I can go up all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Going down's hard.
Okay.
No, it isn't. You just fall down and roll.
Yeah.
And
mean,
we'll
You know what
pick you up
happened
at
to
the
me the
emergency
last
room
time
later.
I fell down and rolled?
Well,
I do not
Hey,
want to go
Donna,
back to the wheelchair.
Do I need to move you to the front side this time?
Front side of what?
The hotel.
I imagine he's going to want to try and get one of those suites again, like he did. He wanted the suite last year,
Okay.
oh,
so I imagine that's
and-
what he's going to want this year too.
and
Alright.
Lindsay has demanded we get the same room.
Well, I
She liked that
will do
room.
my best to make sure you get in the same room.
She liked that room, and I was really surprised because, you know, it's a little hotel. It's not huge, fancy, palatial thing, and I'm going, well, honey, it's Red Roof Inn plus 50%, okay? And she was not expecting much, and we got there, and it exceeded her
It's
expectations.
beautiful.
I loved it. I
I
loved
love the wooden floors rather than rugs in the room.
Yeah.
it. And the thing I like best is I walk out of that room, I can take about 50 steps, and I'll be there standing beside Megan while she's cooking and go, oh, that smells great. Oh, Megan
No.
can cook. Oh,
I'm looking forward to it.
oh, you just off the food that the convention provides, you're going to gain 20 pounds in a weekend.
I feel sorry for Luce because I don't gain it. She does.
It
That's
does-
usually the way it is in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't
Everybody
matter.
else gained weight during COVID. Carl lost weight. Little asshole.
show off.
No,
Actually-
I stayed neutral.
Well, now he's keeping it out because he's having to chase Calvin and charcoal.
Uh-huh.
The first year of COVID, I lost a lot. But the first year of COVID, I was also having horrific B12 issues. So they cause even more nerve damage than the neuropathy. And I was getting full off of a single egg and a piece of toast.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, they fixed my B12, and my appetite comes back, and I gain it all back.
Of course.
Hey, now my normal weight back in the day was 165. because of events, when Lindsay and I got together, I was down to 135. I look like a walking skeleton.
Yeah, that was me before construction too. Like 120, 135, like 120, 120, 30. That was.
Well, now that Lindsay and I have been married for 17 years, I'm at 198. The woman can cook.
This is not a bad thing, and that's
Yeah.
also something that
Well,
makes me frightened of woods.
I remember my grandmother telling me
I look like a
that,
balloon on a stick, you know?
that she put on like 35 pounds on my grandfather, which she was proud of, her cooking and the fact she thought he was a little bit too scrawny when they first got together. And
Mhm.
I am seriously of the opinion that Southern girls, and Lindsay's from Southern England and
Mhm.
from South America, so it still counts. Southern girls are not going to be happy until no other woman on earth will look at their man.
Southern females, Italian females, Greek females, Jewish females.
Eastern Dutch women.
they might not want you, but they don't want anybody else to want you either.
No,
that
no,
was my ex-psychopath.
Yeah,
I don't want you, but I don't want anyone else to have you either. Fuck you, bitch. I gotta have someone.
Right now, for me, it's why, we get a lot of eyes because I'm built, okay, it doesn't look all this, but I'm actually, well, I'm a mover. Like,
You're
the only thing that's
sculpted.
on my body is muscles.
You're sculpted.
Yeah, like, I've got long muscles, the whole thing.
Oh, notice how Aunt Donna perked up right then.
No, Donna's been
I told her,
participating.
I'm going to be moving full time until August, until the end of August, if my side job allows. If it's busy enough, because I'm still a freelancer. So so I told her, my arms are probably going to be twice as big by the time we get to America. She looks at me and goes, "You are so mine." She was worried about you, Donna, because you were being flirty in the chat. You're always flirty in the chat. I know. I don't care. It's good fun. And she was like, "So is that Donna into you or something?" And I'm like, "Honey, that is not a competition. That is just someone that's gonna stand next to you and go, good job."
Well,
Donna's awesome.
Carl and I both natural flirts.
Oh,
But
Lord,
and
yeah.
we are polyamorous, but we don't push that on somebody,
No. And that's the thing too. Like,
allegedly, I'm a flirt too.
Yeah. Same. I'm an awful flirt sometimes, and I actually really like it. It's fun.
I just like people to smile.
Exactly. There we go.
Yes.
And that's what my wife calls me, a flirt.
Carl's first wife was, I'll say, melodramatic.
Mm-hmm.
If they were out and he happened to see someone he worked with and made the mistake of just saying hi, he was accused of sleeping with her.
Yeah.
Sounds like my first psychopath.
And
My only.
then he married me, and especially since cell phones come around, he gets this text. Oh, look at this butt I just saw, because he loves butts. And I'll send him a picture of some woman's butt that's, I know he'll like. That's the kind of wife I am.
Hey, I've got I've got some ladies on the canal boat videos that I think Uncle Carl would go, "Oh, that's nice."
If they got red hair and big bottoms, probably
Hey,
would.
fat bottom girls make the world go round.
We sure do.
Yep.
If redheads are around, or if there's any mention of Alyssa Milano, Misty's eyes get very, 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 very green.
Okay,
Uh,
so
I'm
I
like,
should use my
my
purple
my
hair
thing,
color
my
when
thing,
we go.
whatever works for you. I mean, my crush when I was okay, such a crush on Alyssa Milano in Who's the Boss
Who didn't?
when I was that age, because she's like maybe 4 months older than I am. So it's, it wasn't creepy, but now it's like I had the hots for this, and it's just weird because it's many decades later,
It just got
and
better.
now I feel creepy.
Think of her as
hey,
in Charmed. She was 2 years older than him.
Think of it as a good memory.
But yeah, my wife
Lindsay
gets
has
really jealous.
bought me Betty Page photographs because she understands that I have I have loved that woman since I was 8 or thereabouts, and I'm going, I don't expect you to live up to that. It's just this is a hobby. I like to see that lady model for photographs, and it's one of those special cases where it's non-threatening, especially because now she's dead. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you know you there are these childhood and young adulthood fascinations that you develop with
Oh yeah.
this model, that model, this actress, another actress, and it's like, hey, ain't no threat going on here. It's
No.
just
Well, yeah,
Fantasy.
there's always that one that, especially when you were young, that just caught your imagination and,
oh
will always
yeah.
stick with
Leonard Nimoy.
hmm
There was a guy. Oh yeah.
You like them.
Ironically, I
You like them tall and skinny. We understand.
not necessarily skinny. He wasn't. He wasn't a skinny person really. Um, Ironically, I fell in love with him for Mission Impossible. I had not seen Star Trek
you.
because that was not a channel that we got out in the country.
Yeah.
So I mean, Paris, ultimate
Mhm.
ultimate spy.
He was so smooth in that, though.
Yeah, but then again, Napoleon Solo from Man from Uncle. Yeah, I like him. Ed Ames. Oh yeah. Actually
Uh-huh.
dated a guy that looked like Ed Ames. My first date ever was a guy that's Ed Ames. Big guy. He was 6'4" or 6'5". I was 19. He was 30.
Mhm.
And I go home and I tell my mom, I says, I got a date, but Pop's gonna be so mad because he's 30, Mom. I know he's 30. And Mom's like, "We'll take care of that." So Howard gets there before Pop gets home from work. And my dad was 5'4", maybe 5'6" if he stood on his toes, maybe. So Howard, the three of us are in the living room, and Howard's sitting on the hassock. and Pop comes home from work, and he comes up to shake hands or introduce him, and Howard stands up, and my dad goes, "You're a big son of a bitch, aren't you?"
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna have to worry about the age thing.
Oh
And
God.
I want to tell a story on Carl about redheads. Carl graduated high school in 3 years, but he had to go take some special classes at Danville High, which is like 10 minutes from where he lived in Oakwood. And he carpooled with a couple other kids that had to go to summer school because their grades weren't as good as his. Well, he found out that the girl had a crush on him because she had found out he likes redheads, and she dyed her hair. Only she wasn't a redhead; she was an orange head.
Mm.
Yep.
Yep. Uh,
Not the same thing. No.
Yeah.
And he just threatened me again the other day that if I didn't behave myself, I could be replaced down in the Florida Walmart.
I remember that story.
We were in Florida visiting my folks one winter, and it was raining really hard, and I had to go to Walmart for some reason. And being the gentleman he is, Carl lets me out at the door and goes park. Well, I thought he knew where I was going, so I just headed off for the department. And he comes in, and the greeter's like, "Ed, how can I help you?" And Carl's like, "Well, I'm looking for my wife." And she's redhead, a little chunky, and she's wearing leopard print pants, stretch pants. And they're looking around, and the guy says, "Well, I'm not sure which one she might be, but there's 5. You got your choice here," and none of them was me. So after that, Carl's like, "Yeah, you better behave. I can replace you anytime at the Florida Walmart."
The problem is, would you want a woman from Florida?
It depends.
Well,
Depends if you like crazy.
I don't know. They might turn out like Eileen Wuornos,
I mean, so some people, their kink is crazy.
Yeah,
Still,
well,
it
no.
just goes to show that Walmart stocks everything.
Oh, and before I forget, man, did you,
Even little bitty red haired women in leopard print stretch pants. I mean,
Oh
seriously.
boy!
did you get to see that video I sent you of the drummer singing and
Oh
playing
no,
drums?
I haven't watched anything. No.
Well,
I
when you
know
do,
you
let me
sent the
know what
link,
you think.
but
I sent you the link in Messenger.
oh, now I recently found out that I have a weakness for lady musicians.
Oh yeah, Olivia Newton-John was one of my earliest crushes.
Well,
Same here. Rest in
there-
peace.
there's this band called Zepparella, and they do Led Zeppelin music, and they are very Cherokee. And I'm going, oh God, how do I get to be one of the roadies? And it's way too late for that. But I'd tote any amp for some of those ladies. I swear. Oh no, I'm not an easy touch. Seriously, I behave myself, much to the chagrin of several people that I know.
Mm.
Yes.
I've
Um,
recently gotten into a guy called the Miracle of Sound. Um, he went in with what's his name?
You okay, Dan?
One guy goes under the sound goes under that bass because he has got he he rivals the bass from uh damn, now I'm pulling it in. But I ran across one of their YouTube things. It's Valhalla Calling, and of
Oak
course,
Ridge Boys or Statler Brothers, I assume.
no, no, an
Uh,
acapella
No,
group.
no, I mean that vocal
Yeah,
range.
was it voice play
free
that was
something.
doing it?
Home free.
Oh, Home
Oh,
Free. Okay.
yes.
Home Free did a Valhalla Calling?
No, no, the bass who was doing Valhalla Calling puts Tim from Home Free to shame. I mean, mm,
Peyton something.
I thought Peyton was the
Peyton,
barbarian.
Peyton Parrish.
Peyton Parrish is the barbarian, the heavy metal Viking, I believe.
But he does Valhalla Calling. He gets pretty low on that.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
listen to voice play, Jeff Castellucci.
yeah. After hearing Valhalla Calling, I got to listening to Miracle of Sound, and the ones he does without the other two are mostly cinematic animation. And oh my God, I shared Wake the White Wolf with my other my other Viking friends, and I also shared it in my World of Warcraft group because I'm like, I know this isn't World of Warcraft, but watch it because it so reminds me of the cinematics from World of Warcraft. But yeah, it's very moving.
All right. I gotta start heading out because I gotta catch a train at 10 a.m.
Well, we've almost gone 2 hours and a half here, so
Yeah.
it's about time for us to bring this to a close. Mike, Jimmy, please do announce the link to the.
Yeah, we'll look for Love and Cora Volume 1 on Kickstarter.
Yep.
I got in early.
Yep. The hardcovers are going fast. We're at 12 out of 50. Soft covers are available in Dutch and English. And yeah, we got another one just now.
All right.
So, thank you kindly.
I had to go for the soft cover because we got hit with a $3,000 tax bill.
Don't worry. Like, there's yeah, don't worry. That's what I'm gonna say.
I got a soft cover.
Every little bit is appreciated, and you know what? I put in little extras for my friends anyway, so don't worry about it.
I love you.
Hey, Mike, are you going to still be available round one tomorrow? Or
Yeah,
later
no,
today?
I'm going over to my girlfriend's because that way we can just use her laptop and have
Okay.
the two of us talk because she's going to be joining as well.
Okay.
And it's kind of important she knows what's up as well.
Yeah, that's fine. And like I said, this is probably going to be the first of a couple
Yeah.
of these, just to kind of get an idea of what all's going on and what all you would like to get accomplished, what you're all interested in, and all that.
Yeah.
I will get Joe to set up a link, and I'll get you that link
Yeah,
as soon as it gets done.
just send it over, and we'll just join from her place because that's where I'm going after this.
Okay,
So yeah,
awesome.
yeah, guys, limited hardcover. I have actually got the example here. It's got to be twice as big if we hit 5,000 euros. So go grab it.
It's probably going to be a couple of weeks, but I plan on getting in too. So
Yeah, no worries, no worries. You know,
because I still think you got what 25 days left.
24 at this point.
Okay, I knew it was close to something like that, but I'll get in before the deadline. I just
Yeah, and what you got to keep in mind, Kickstarter doesn't charge until the end of the campaign too.
yeah.
So
But
Good deal.
thankfully, it's already funded, so
everything's funded. We're just going into stretch goals, and the book's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're just going to get extra stuff the longer we go.
Yeah.
And next week, the 24-hour comic challenge over on the Indie Comics Network. So yeah, we should end just about now next week with that challenge. And I'm looking forward to that. Gonna be cool.
Now, are there going to be add-ons and stuff like that in the Kickstarter?
Yes. So this is going to be the 24-hour comic challenge. That story is going to be a free extra for every backer. And when we hit 5,000 euros, I will add it to the book.
Because I think my daughter would love, or my youngest. I got to remember that they prefer they. My youngest would prefer, might love that plushie. So I didn't see a way to add that on to my hardcover. So.
Oh, hold on.
there is a way. There is a way. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, no, it should be available. Let me check my rewards if I have not made the plushie an add-on, because it should be.
Because I saw it as a subscription. I didn't see it as an add-on.
No, you're right.
I haven't mucked with Kickstarter a whole hell of a lot. I mean, like I said, I've backed a total of 3 projects, including yours.
No, my sincere apologies. You're right. It was not in the list. Yes, they will receive physical goods. Oh, wait. No, wait. I just gotta duplicate that. Let's see, play sheet for 40 euros. And remove that. Choose Etsy plushie. I am so sorry. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, there's no limit to those. There we go. And it's added to the campaign. So that should yeah. So now it's on every tier.
Now, Mike, did you send me this?
No.
Okay.
I haven't sent you anything so far.
Okay. Well, somebody did, and unfortunately, the dog thought it was a toy. And Lindsay painstakingly reassembled it from the dog chewed parts. And I'm going, I don't know where it came from. I don't have any idea, but it's cute, and I wish I had protected it from the dog better. But
no.
You know,
these are my plushies. Like, this is the only one I have.
Oh yeah.
So these are the 12-inch Etsy plushies.
Oh, believe me, if I had that, the dog would have climbed the headboard of the bed to get to it. But whoever sent that, it is now in a Ziploc being hidden away until the dog gets a little taller, out of her reach. And I really thank you for that gift, and whoever it was.
That's a shame.
Yes, well, you know, these things, they happen. We didn't have the dog when I got it, and I didn't know to protect it. And then boom, I found out I needed to protect it. It's my mistake.
Well, like you said, it does happen. You
Yeah.
know, hindsight's usually 20/20. We can't always foresee everything that happens.
Exactly.
Yep. That's.
If
I'm
I
saying goodnight,
could, I
Jason.
would be so much further ahead in the world these days.
Yeah.
Ah,
No, but
God,
yeah,
why
the
is there a
bushes,
Black Sabbath song playing in my head now? Well, that's
Probably
neither here
because
nor
there's
there.
something that triggered a memory for a Black Sabbath song.
Well, yeah. If I could remember which one, it would make more sense. But
that would
right
help.
now,
Hell, Hell's
I'm
Bells.
sure it'll hit you sometime tomorrow.
But
something
right
about.
before you actually sleep.
Oh, I'm not going to worry about it. I mean, seriously, I've got all that stuff right here, and
Yep.
I may not be able to remember the name, but I've got quadraphonic sound playing in my head
Yeah.
right now. So,
It'll eventually flip on a light switch somewhere.
yeah. Well, I mean, I could always go look it up, and all I got to do is go to like YouTube and type in the lyric that I remember, and it'll give me the video. It's all right. It's all right. Well, it's almost 3:30 local
Exactly.
time. So and 2:30 for Rich and Donna. So oh God, that means it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning for
Yep.
you.
9:30.
Yes. Well, I'm getting better at guessing times.
Yeah.
I haven't even added you to my world clock yet. So
I wish I could be that bright-eyed and bushy-tailed that early in the morning.
Yeah, me too.
hey,
Yeah.
I'm not going
I'm
to
a
be
morning
bright-eyed
person.
and bushy-tailed after the third cup of coffee. I don't care what time I get up.
Well, I'm a night owl at heart, so
I'm an early bird. My normal days are from 4:30 in the morning till 8 p.m. at night, and then I just coma, and the next day starts.
yeah.
And if I have to work on my side job, I don't draw, and I just take an easy, relaxing morning, make my breakfast, and make my lunch for work and stuff like that. If I'm working from home, like today, I grab my first cup of coffee, take the first sip, and I get to work. Unless I'm here with you guys, because, that's a worthy trade, I'd say.
Well,
We
hopefully you're not
appreciate
going to
it.
have to work on Sunday, but
No more than usual. There's always comic work to be done. So.
Oh well, I meant the
Work.
the day job.
Yeah, not so much that.
Well,
All right. Well, I will bid all of y'all good night.
Good night.
And,
thank
Bye,
y'all for
everybody.
being here. Thank all of our guests. Thank everybody that watches us on the replay. We're not trying to be monetized, so
Enjoy
who
the listen.
cares? But I really appreciate everybody that's been involved, and everybody that's here, everybody that just recently left. Thank you, Chris, for showing up, and Skunk as well. And we are going to tell the bedtime story. So, thank you very much. You're on your own. Good night.
Big
Good
Lino.
night,
Good night.
Good night.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.